Like, what new classes could we see in this? What new class would I want to see in this? I genuinely don't know. I don't know where you go from what we've had in the past to... Like, I want to see an angel be a playable character. But for that to make sense, Blizzard would have to be like, this character is not canon to the story, but you can play this character because we feel like people might want to play one of the angels because they look dope. And I've wanted to play one of the angels in these games since Diablo 2 when I was a kid, because my uncle lied to me and said that you unlocked a playable angel if you beat Hell difficulty of the game. So since he said that to me, I've been like, oh shit, I want to do that. And then when I beat Hell, of course I was a kid, so I made a... what's it called? A hacked character to beat the game, because I couldn't beat Hell on my own as a kid. No way. So I made a hacked character and beat the game on Hell, and then didn't unlock the angel, and I was pissed. I've actually never confronted him about that. Should do that. That'd be fun. I doubt he remembers that. That was like... shit. What? 2004? It's a while ago. I remember it vividly, obviously, but I don't think he would. But ever since then, I've wanted the angel to be a playable character, because I've always loved the design of Tyrael. Tyrael is just such a clean character design. It's just every time one of the angels appears in these games, I'm just like, I understand why the Church of Light exists in these games, because I feel it, man. I feel it every time I look at the angel characters. They're awesome. Some of them are not very nice, but the design, holy shit, so good. I really want to play one of those one day. And I hope they'll let us. They could just add it to the game, say it's not canon to the story, and just be done with it. Like, people won't care. I'm in the group of people that probably would care, but, like, just say it's non-canon and move on. It's that simple. Outside of that, though, what more would I want to see as a playable class? I have no idea. I truly don't know. Someone that mainly deals in spears and polearms, maybe? I guess that could be kind of cool. Like a Horadrim character. Like Lorath. And... like what Deckard Cain was when he was younger. I guess he was always like a scholar type, moving around and just collecting stories and telling stories, but yeah. Lorath from Diablo 3, when he's a young Horadrim, he looks dope and he uses a polearm as a weapon. And I think that would be very interesting. That could be an interesting way to bring back the Amazon kit and just put that into a Horadrim polearm user. Yeah, I'll text you later, man. Take care. I'm just gonna finish this thought too, because I've actually been wanting to put this stuff in a video as well. So I'm gonna finish my thought here. I'll talk to you later. Besides the angel and a Horadrim using a polearm, where you could bring back like lightning, like, I guess you could use the javelin kit from Diablo 2 for the Amazon and put that more into, like, fuse that with the spear attacks and put that into the polearm usage of a Horadrim character. I think that could be really cool. Outside of those two, I don't know, man. I don't know where the class direction should go, where it could go. I don't know. If I actually just watch one of my old videos, because I did a class wish list years ago. So if we just pull that up here, we can see what I said back then. I know one of them, which is terrible. Like, one of them is a shit idea, and I don't know what I was thinking. New class wish list. Here it is. If YouTube will ever fully load. Are we ready?
So, BlizzCon is over. We have all the info they're going to be giving us.
Let's actually watch this, because I'm very curious to see like what my opinions were back then and how it's changed
for the foreseeable future. What do we do now except speculate? So here's what we'll do.
We'll update the quality of the video.
I put together a list of completely new classes I would like to see in Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a wish list and nothing more. This is just what I would want to see. Some of them might be impossible, and not because it's such a highly thought out.
Look how thin he is in this. The hell? They made him bigger. What the? Go back to this. What? I never realized he's thin there. What the hell? Hold on. Put that gear on. Look at this. Look at this. What is this? They made him fatter. God damn it. Stick to this. You get a good middle ground behind, like between him being fat and him being like a bodybuilder type, like a strongman type. This is a great middle ground. Why doesn't he look like this?
Idea, just because there might already be things we've seen that makes these characters irrelevant. That's a total possibility, especially one of them. I've come up with 4 different classes I would be interested to see in the future of Diablo, be it in this game or anything in the future. So, first off, Shaman. The Shaman right away I don't think is a possibility for this game.
Yeah.
For one simple reason. We already have a character that controls both lightning and earth.
Ah.
A druid. So why would I still want to see a shaman?
Good question.
So in my mind, we're not dealing with an elemental shaman from WoW, we're dealing with an enhancement shaman from WoW. That could either dual wield or go with a big two-hander. I'm leaning more towards the dual wield to make it more of a intelligence agility hybrid. Like quick melee attacks with 2 weapons and enhance them with electricity and, you know, shoot chain lightning out of your weapons when you hit people, like stuff like...
That's not gonna happen now with the sorcerer. I see where I was coming from with this. I think it's even less likely now. Especially that the druid is holding totems. I don't think the shaman really has any place whatsoever in this game, really. I like the idea of imbuing attacks with lightning and stuff like that, but I feel like I also can get that out of using one of the legendary, the legendaries for the werewolf. Does that too.
that. Something cool and different. So even though
not different.
we already have the druid controlling both earth and electricity, I think there's room for a shaman type character who focuses more on the elements in melee combats. Maybe the shaman could use the earth in a way of crowd control, like stunning enemies.
That's the bear.
Knocking them back, pushing them towards people. That'd be cool. Something like that. Like I said though, the shaman...
That's what the bear does and what you do if you go earth skills. So, yeah.
Is probably the least likely on this list.
So I would agree.
But
well, no.
Maybe I have one.
It's not the least likely, I'll tell you that much. There's one coming up later that is real unlikely.
One wild card at the end.
Yeah,
but
that's the one.
I still would like to see them attempt to make a shaman, even though I do not expect them to do it in base game. If the shaman is to ever become real, it would have to be through an expansion pack. Because as it is, it would feel kind of redundant to have two characters focusing on electricity and earth. The way around it could be a restoration shaman, but I don't know how interesting it would be to play Diablo as a exclusively healing character. I know the monk was
Could work.
kind of played that way in ranked groups of Diablo 3,
Yep.
but I'm not sure how interesting that would be for an entire class to be built around.
Fair.
My second idea would be a ranger type character.
Ah.
You might say, well, we had the demon hunter in Diablo 3. We already have bow characters. And to you I say, no, not a simple demon hunter, not a rogue from Diablo 1, not an Amazon from Diablo 2. To you I say, a ranger like Aragorn. Think about that.
Hey,
A character
I kind of got my wish.
wearing leather type armor,
Yeah.
big cloaks,
Yeah.
cool hooded gear,
Yeah.
with a bow
Yeah.
and a two-handed sword.
I
I think that
got close. I got the dual wield in the end instead of the two-handed sword. But yeah, I basically got my wish here. They gave me a ranger and called it the rogue. So I'm happy with that. I wish I could use a two-handed sword to look even more like Aragorn, but I'm good with what I got. That's really funny.
it's a solid idea. If I'm being completely honest, it came to me out of nowhere. I'm sure there's someone who's talked about this. Someone has to have had this idea for
They did at the Blizzard offices.
Diablo sometime. I mean, the game's from the 90s. Someone must have mentioned this sometime, but I've never heard anyone mention it. And when it came to me, I felt I
It's
had
real
to
now.
mention it because I love the visual of it. With the cool way the weapon system works, with the dynamic form shifting of the druid and the barbarian being able to wield up to 4 different weapons.
Yeah.
The ranger could have 2 weapon slots, one for a two-handed weapon and one for a bow. So when he's at range,
Interesting.
he has a specific set of abilities. But then when he gets close to enemies, he draws his sword because he starts using different ones. I think that would be a cool interaction with the new fight.
I basically predicted the damn rogue. I basically predicted the entire class. That's really funny. I haven't even thought about this video since I made this. Like, when? 3 years ago? November 2019, so 3.5 years ago. Jesus. It's really funny.
Fighting system they have going on in Diablo 4. And I just felt like this could actually work in the game. And it's something I would actually love to see.
Yeah. I'm happy it's there.
Another one
Great
I've been
class.
thinking about is the...
I gotta say, Chrane, well done. I'm gonna say you put that into reality. That's well done. That's really funny. That's great. I love that that's real now. The only thing I missed was the dual wield instead of getting a two-hander. But, hey. It was an excellent class to play in the beta. And, I don't know, I just thought that was really funny. I basically predicted the entire class. It's really funny.
Horadrim.
Horadrim, yeah.
I almost expected there to be a Horadrim character in Diablo 3 if there ever was to be a
Yeah.
second expansion pack. Because they have a very unique design. It was ultimately what convinced me that the trailer was about Diablo when the guy in Pursuit of Knowledge was thrown into the pillar and I could see his satchel of scrolls and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Must be heading here somewhere.
Turns out he's just a scholar. He's not a Horadrim dude. Yeah, there you go. Why is that video so laggy in this recording? Why is it still going?
Three they come by, three thy way opens.
We don't need to see the rest of this. Cut.
Willing.
Cut back to the...
Hail.
Cut back.
Hail the creator.
They would have
Okay.
a cloth base for their gear, and then they would be clad in heavy armor over it. You would basically be running around as a medieval version of a temple guardian from Star Wars. Which
Yeah.
I think is a cool idea. You'd be running around with this big pole arm, this heavy armor, but you're still wearing like a giant robe under it.
Yeah.
You'd basically be playing as a young fighting Deckard Cain, in my mind. If the monk and Deckard Cain and the Horadrim NPC from Adventure Mode and the story in Diablo 3,
Oh,
Reaper
Lorath?
of Souls, if those 3 characters collided, that's basically what I want
Yeah.
out of this character.
I still want that.
As you might have realized by now, most of my ideas are based on visuals. That's mostly because
Yeah.
I haven't played the game yet. I don't know how it feels.
I have now.
The big thing I know about the game is the seamless transitions between abilities.
For
And
the
I'm
barb.
not sure how that would
Yeah.
work with the Horodrim, or even if it would be necessary.
Well, I guess it's not just the barb. All of them do it. But what I had in my head when I was talking about that was how you assign specific weapons to specific abilities, because I thought that's how every class was going to work. But instead it just seamlessly happens whenever you click a different ability, which I think is smarter. Because it makes the barbarian thing with the arsenal more unique as well.
It would be cool though if they could choose between using a polearm or fighting with their fists.
Yeah.
Because that's a visual I always liked with the monk in Diablo 3.
Yeah, that way you can fuse the Horodrim. Let the violins die out here first. Thank you. That way, if you give them the choice of going polearm or fist weapons, that way you can focus a character with holy power solely on the paladin. The way you don't have to like tie the monk into being holy powered. You can fuse the monk into this, which I think could work. Interesting. I had some good ideas in the past. What happened? I grew old, I guess. My imagination died.
And the final one.
Yeah.
This is a wild card,
Uh-huh.
I warn you. And before I describe
such a
this,
bad idea.
be open-minded when I tell you this. Here's my idea, right?
So bad.
Half demon.
Uh-huh.
You have a character with a light red tint to the skin. Kind of like... imagine a lighter version of what Lilith looked like when she came out of the blood web thing.
Web?
He has sharp
I think it's called a placenta, my guy.
teeth, small demon horns. Like imagine the ones that held Talrasha's face taped to Bale's face
These things?
after he broke out of the host body. And the main feature is that he has one red infected arm with spikes on it and sharp claws.
Like prototype?
Only one arm. It might sound like I'm describing Hellboy,
Oh,
which
yeah.
I'm not. I know Hellboy is a demon of sorts. However, that's not what I'm looking for here. I'm looking for a more gritty, disgusting version. So what I did is I thought this up and then I googled for half demons. And I found two interesting pictures. One of them is from Magic the Gathering. He looks like a bit like the scoundrel from Diablo 3.
Kind of does.
If he was a demon. So imagine kind of that skin tone, maybe a bit lighter, but that calm, cool style, mixed with this half-demon from a mobile game called Legend of the Crypt. Because that's the arm I'm talking about.
That's the arm.
Almost those types of horns. Those horns are very close, but I will show you again the picture.
So here's my problem with this, right? Listening back to this, I haven't thought about this video specifically since I made it, but I have thought about the fact that I mentioned this. Here's the thing, right? Every human in Diablo is already half demon. What am I talking about in this? Like, it's an idea. For sure. I just don't think it fits in the Diablo universe. I don't know what I was thinking with this. I have no idea. It's so weird. I don't know what the hell was going on with me when I had this idea. It's really funny that I did research and like Googled a bunch of concepts and stuff. Like just replace this. Like now I'm on the complete opposite of this idea where I'm like, give me straight up just one of the angels that I can play and just say that he is not canon. That's it. Just give me an angel to play. Like, I've gone so far towards the other end of this idea. It's really something.
Of Bale and what the horns on the edge of his face looked like that held Talrasha's skin on his face. But
Yes.
this picture of the half demon from this mobile game called Legend of the Cryptids, I've never heard of it. I just saw this picture and I think it looks great. That's basically the demon arm I want, but maybe a longer shoulder spike.
Yep.
Not shoulder spike, maybe a longer elbow
Yep.
spike. And also you should have a single one-handed sword, just like that picture. That would be awesome. And the weapon system could be used so that he either fights with his fist, or he fights with the blade, or he
Mhm.
can combine them to do something cool. That's basically what I want from this character. This, like I said, this is a wild card
He like punches his hand with the sword. It powers up. I don't know what.
addition just to my weird list here at the end, but I think this could work. And I know we're going for a more realistic not realistic, but a more grounded, gritty version of Diablo, which is why I think he shouldn't be completely red and just have the arm be red, but still keep the horns from Bale and the sharp teeth. He could basically be a Ronin demon, is what I'm leaning towards here.
I don't hate that
And
idea.
even if this one probably never will happen, it's something I
you think?
would love to see sometime in the future. So, those are my 4 strange
One of them happened.
wishlist classes for Diablo 4.
I hope the rod
Now, do I
happens.
think any of them will happen? Probably not. Which one would I like the most? Probably the Ranger. Second place, Half Demon, if I'm being honest.
No.
I was more hyped on the Shaman when I started doing this, but even though I think it's a
Hell
great
no.
idea, I just think that because we have the
Hell no.
Druid, it wouldn't fit in the game for a long time, because electricity and earth is already claimed, basically. Now, the
Same with
Horadrim, I
cold.
think, would be a safe pick for them, but I don't think it's a bad one. There's a lot you could do with a Horadrim character
Yeah.
that you wouldn't be able to otherwise. Mainly a bunch of lore stuff, which is the main reason I want a Horadrim class.
Yeah.
For the lore. But like I said, the Ranger is my top pick, and I think the Ranger could happen. I don't think the Ranger... None of these are real guesses towards what I think the last 2 are. These are purely what I would like to see in the future. And I would also like to hear what you would want to see.
Me?
Something completely new, something we
Wow.
haven't seen in Diablo before. I would love to hear it. So put some notes down in the comments and tell me your cool class.
Is there anything else?
Because I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed some.
Yeah, so my opinion on these have changed dramatically, I hear, since making this. The Shaman, I don't think has any place in Diablo 4. Based on just what the kit is for the Druid. There's just no place really for the Shaman, so I don't think we need that at all. The half-demon thing, every human in Diablo 4 and in Diablo in general is a half-demon already, so I don't know what the hell I was thinking there. The design could work in some way. I don't know how you would do that, but maybe. I still think the rogue was the best idea out of all of these, and it happened, which is really funny. And I'm really happy it did, because I enjoyed the rogue thoroughly in the beta. The one I... Like, the rogue is the one they absolutely should... I'm on the wrong side. The rogue is the one they absolutely should have done, and they did, which I'm glad. The Horadrim is my number 2 out of all of these, because the other 2 are goofy as hell. The Horadrim, I think, is a great idea. Have him be polearm based. You can mix that up with the spear and javelin attacks from the Amazon in Diablo 2, and then incorporate some new stuff and fuse that with the monk from Diablo 3 if you want to go fighting using your hands, fist fighting. That way the only holy character in the game would be a paladin, you know? That way you remove that side of the monk and just focus him more of as a Horadrim monk, so to speak. And I think they should do that. Absolutely. I think it's a stellar idea from Chrane here. Thank you, Chrane, for that great idea you have. You had 3.5 years ago. Very well done.